So how do you turn an idea into a business opportunity? Tough question, right? And that's exactly the reason why I've held on to my guest today, Peter Ndirangu. Like, he was taking us through a conversation earlier on the importance of bookkeeping and accounting for small businesses, and I thought we need to have a conversation on how someone can turn a business idea, someone can turn an idea into a business opportunities. I thought that would interest you, and so yes, I'm here with Peter, and he will share his tips on that. So welcome back again, Peter.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for agreeing to stay behind and continue sharing your nuggets of wisdom with us.
Okay.
And so people are always bubbling with ideas.
Yeah.
Like, you look at your community environment and you see a need and you're thinking, wow, if I can actualize this, if I can get money, I can turn this into a business. But then how can someone move now from conceiving the idea and even analyze and see this works and this doesn't work? How do we turn ideas into businesses? Please give us some tips on that.
Thank you so much, Winnie. I would like to start by saying that one of the mystics I have seen out there, it is people implementing a solution without having done enough research or without having analyzed and understood the actual gap that exists in the market. Maybe, I don't know, Winnie, or whether through your interaction with people or even social media, you've come across these articles that people write and say that there are those written 100 ways to start a business.
Yeah.
10 ways to start an M-Pesa business. So I would like to say that I don't have a problem with them, but I have a problem with using that approach to starting a business. I would like to say that you should not start a business because you have money. That is a wrong reason of starting a business. It is wrong to start with a solution in mind.
Yes.
It is very wrong. It actually goes against the maxims or the law of business. You have to identify the problem first. You have to look at the society, look at the surrounding, identify the gap first. It could be a solution that have not been provided. The problem is there, the solution is not provided. It could be a solution that is being provided not in the most accurate way. That could be a gap. But it is of essential importance that you always start with the problem or the societal gap in mind. That is where people go wrong.
Very important.
The maxim of business dictate that if it is about business, for sustainability purposes, it has to be about a solution that you are offering to a given problem. It has to be a bridge that you are offering to an existing gap in the market. If it is not either of those, I can tell you that sooner or later, your business is doomed to fail.
Sure.
Now, let us come back to your question. You have that idea. Now it is time to execute the idea.
You've done your market research.
You've done your market research. You've done technically everything.
Yes.
And I don't know what people consider market research. That could be a discussion for another day, because it is very paramount.
Sure.
Because it is only through research that you're able to understand the gap. You don't just need to know that a gap exists. You need to understand it for sustainability of your business. The reason why business start today and tomorrow they cross, it is because they did not look at the big picture. Is this business sustainable? Is it sustainable? Am I able to recoup all my cash flows that I've invested in this business before my business is declared irrelevant? So it is very important that before you execute a business, having done market research, that you do 3 very important things. You need to sit down with a paper, with your tablet, or even with your computer, and do 3 very important, though many ignore. and they will determine the sustainability of any business. One of them, you need to outline the existing gap. Outline and break it down. And you need to ask yourself the following questions. How long have this gap been existing?
Yes.
Is it just a seasonal gap? You should not start a business for seasonal reasons. If you start it for seasonal reasons, unless the business is highly liquid, you are doomed to fail, and you are doomed to make a lot of financial mistakes and losses. So you need to break down that gap or that solution that you need to offer. The other thing that you need to do, you need to tailor it. You know, in as much as you are implementing that business idea, you don't have to target everyone. You need to have a specific audience or a specific target market that you are targeting. You don't just target everyone. Societal problems are very specific.
Is that the same as segmenting?
Yeah, that is the same. You need to segment. Who are you targeting? If you are selling clothes, let's talk about that. You don't need to target everyone. Children, men, women, old people, young people, because all of us, we are segmented by the market. Be specific of who are your target market. And with that in mind, then you are able to craft a strategy. You are able to put the right systems in place. Now, the problem that we have, you've identified a gap in the market, but how are you going to get there? Do you have a strategy? Do you have a mission? What are you going to do differently for you to be distinct? How are you differentiating yourself? How are you branding yourself through the strategy that you are using so that you can stand out and succeed in the market? Winnie, let me ask you a question. Would you know whether M-Pesa was an invention or it was an innovation from where you stand?
That's a very good question. I think invention.
You are right. Why do you think it is an invention?
Because it was one of these things that we never had, not just in Kenya, but anywhere else in the world. I don't think we had that. Yes.
That's great. You are actually right, but it is also true that it was from a global perspective or from a global thinking, it was an innovation. You get?
Yeah.
There is a very thin difference between invention and innovation. When you talk about invention, it is something new that have never been done before. Invention, you are inventing. It has never existed before. And that could be true for mobile money. But when you look at it from a financial perspective, that is transfer of monies. Even before M-Pesa came, people were transferring money.
Through card payments.
Good. They existed. But what the M-Pesa solution did, it enabled us to transfer money everywhere, anytime. Through the handset. So at one hand, it was an innovation, and at the other hand, it was an invention. They just improved the way of sending money. People still send money, even through messages. True?
Yeah.
You get it?
Or poster.
Or poster. Yeah? But through the coming of M-Pesa, now that gap was bridged. And people are able to do that. So I was saying that most of the business, 99.9% of the businesses in Kenya, or even in the world, let me talk about the world, they are actually innovative businesses. That is, you want to do it better. You want to enhance. You want to provide that solution in a better way. And these are the hard questions that you need to ask yourself. If I want to bridge the gap, if I want to do it better, how am I going to brand myself so that I can stand out?
Yeah.
How am I going to differentiate myself so that I can stand out in the market? That is very key.
Wow.
So among many others, those are primarily things, the things that you need to sit down and think about and have a way forward even before you implement that idea.
Wow.
You don't just implement. You don't just execute without having a good path
Yes.
towards that will lead you to achieving your general objective.
So, Peter, let me ask this question. So, you've done your research, you've outlined the gaps in the market, you've segmented your audience, and you've come to the strategy part. And I want to believe, like, finding the right team of people to help you execute your idea is part of this strategy. So, how does someone now get the right people to work with? You're just a startup. At that point, you can't even be called a startup. You're just one person and you have these ideas. How do you find the right people to work with?
I would like to support your question and state that it's very important that you have a team to work with, but the right team. You have to have the right team. But where people go wrong when they are getting that team, it is actually how they mobilize the team. As an entrepreneur, you have to mobilize those people who will help you achieve your business, or rather get you to your vision. So what you need first to do before you even mobilize, you need to outline. If I need a team, what are they coming to do? What are the job description, or where specifically do I want them to come in and help me? Maybe you want some people to help you in sales. Maybe you need some people to help you in strategy. Maybe you need an accountant. That will conclusively is a team that you need to work with for you to achieve. So you need to outline what functions you have in the business that you are implementing. Then for every function, have the right people for that team or for that function. I would like to categorically say that don't mishandle your business because it is a startup. Most of the people, when they are starting up, they are not very careful even in choosing a team. You go for any person to come and do your books, do your accounting. You go for any person to come and do your sales. But you need to get the right people in terms of professional expertise to come and help you establish the business. You have to get it right from the beginning. The act of getting it right is not in a specific level of business growth. It is always at the execution. You have to get it right. Get the right person for the job. Get the right number of people. You need to outline. Don't do it emotionally. Let me use that word again. Be categorical. What do I need them to come and do? How many salesperson do I need so that you only recruit the number that you need? What are the qualifications that these people need to have? Don't recruit the wrong people for the job. They will mess you up. They will brand you wrongly in the market. Because if you bring in a team who don't have authority in the solution that you are offering, then you are doomed to fail. Because that is very key. Remember, you have your business and you have the team. These are not separable in business aspect or in the market aspect. Your team is the first brand. Remember how you brand yourself. It will determine your acceptability in the product that you're offering in the market.
Sure.
Also, it is important to understand that you don't just need to brand the solution you're offering. You also need to brand yourself.
Yes.
Because you are first accepted before your product is accepted.
Sure.
So you can have a good product, but if the way you are presenting your product is not authoritative, it is not with mastery, it is not
Trustable.
with it is not trustable, then you will have a problem.
Sure.
So branding is very key, and it have to start with you in terms of attitude, character, how you talk about it. You may even need some coaching so that you can do it right. Once you are accepted, I can assure you that even your product will be accepted. And that is the essence of branding. To differentiate yourself from others and to stand out in the marketplace.
Great, and I love that Peter is talking about branding. Speaking of branding, actually, we are today hosted by Wexer Brand. If you remember, I featured a young entrepreneur, Wexer Brand. He does a lot of branding, and so I'll share. This is the link to that article. You can check. Sorry, not article. The video that I did with the founder and CEO of Wexer Brand. You can check them out and see how they can assist you in your branding activities. So, guys, I hope you really enjoyed the insights and you've taken notes as well on how you can turn your ideas into business opportunities. And just a quick revamp onto that. It was on basically you start by researching the market. Don't just start a business because you have the money. And secondly, it's outlining the gaps, the existing gaps in the market. The other one was on segmenting your market, and that's where you define exactly the nitty-gritties of your audience. If it's men, what kind of men, what are their preferences? And the other part is on executing a workable strategy, which again involves even coming up with the right team to help you do that. And the last one is branding your business.
Exactly.
Yes, so thank you very much, Peter. Maybe we can conclude by giving a call to action to our viewers as far as the subject today goes.
Thank you so much, Winnie. I would like to say that every business and every startup can actually thrive even in these economical times, hard economic times. All you need to do is to have the right systems, have your books right, brand very well, have a strategy, have the right way of doing it. And I can assure you that you will definitely succeed. So even at this time, when we have a lot of complaints, we have a lot of drop of business out of the market, don't lose heart. Keep pushing your idea, keep branding yourself rightfully, keep standing out, and you will definitely succeed.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I would also like to hear what tips stood out for you. Please comment in the description box below and help us get to interact with you. If you'd like to engage Peter further, please find his details in the description box below. As always, this has been Voice It, the platform that we create to help you become an active citizen. Please subscribe if you haven't. Toodles!